What's up, guys? Brett Okamoto, and we just had UFC 324 last weekend, but we got right another numbered event, UFC 325 over there in Sydney, Australia, and headlining it, of course, is a featherweight champion, Alexander Volkanovski, who, everybody always looks forward to your fights, Alex, but I'm also starting to really look forward to these skits that you do with this betting website over there. And the latest one is, you're fighting with yourself on the farm. You're having fun with those, and who writes those up for you? Is that you? Do you have a major part in that, or is that something that someone else does for you?
Nah, so that's with sports bet. Sports bet come up with a lot of them ones. The ones the old man Volk, the producer one. I don't know if you've seen that. So the real, they go all out with it. So they usually have the overall game plan. I obviously might, they'll have a scenario, and then I might, go back and forth and maybe some of my own lines or what I would say. So I'll play a part in that. We might have ideas as we go, but overall, it's their brilliant work that they do. It's always fun. I love it. I love the acting. I love all that sort of stuff. The cooking stuff that I'm doing. Like I've really found something that I've been real good at, and it's been unreal, and I enjoy it. It's like I'm lucky enough to find something that's something I really do enjoy.
For sure. Yeah, the cooking thing has exploded, and you got the aprons coming out, which we were just talking about. And you really have found your stride on the camera. That's been years ago, but now even with the acting stuff and everything else, it's funny to think back at the beginning of your career where it's like, the cameras, it was, the views weren't there, the interest wasn't there, and now it's everywhere you go, the cameras are following you. Let's talk about this fight, Diego Lopes. I feel like you, over the course of your career, I mean, obviously your career is full of good performances. That's why your career is. But I do feel like you love the doubt. You operate best when there's doubt. You operate best when people are coming up with reasons why you shouldn't win. The last three we had doubt. This one I don't feel like we do. Have you felt that? Have you felt the absence of the doubt that was following you over the last three fights?
Nah, not really. But again, like as you said, I work best. So I'm probably always looking for it, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, I'm not. I don't think I'm looking for it. But I mean, for me, I'm a again, I don't feel I need to look for it too much. It's like I am 37 years old. You know what I mean? Like I can look at that sort of stuff, even though I feel great. Like, you know what I mean? Like I can even just know that people are like, even if they're like, they're still going to be doubting their minds. Like you know what I mean? And they have every right to be like that. So so I get motivation out of that anyway. Me winning and defending my belt at 37 years old. Even after a decent break, it was 10 months since the last one. Like I still think that's impressive and a big win, and that's what I like about it. That's what I like about the challenges or people doubting me. It just makes a win even bigger. So I think every win from here on out is gonna should be I hope should be impressive enough.
Are these the most challenging fights of your career? Because as you mentioned, I mean, you've said age is just a number, but it also is, it's a real thing. Father time is a
Yeah.
real thing. And as you're continuing to have these 25-minute scheduled fights against the absolute best fighters in the world, is this actually difficult wise what you would consider the hardest part of your career?
Of course, it's going to be difficult. Like I mean, especially with the guy I am, the mindset that I have, I'm going to always I have to like the intensity has to be there. Maybe the volume right now, like the volume has to go down. Can I do what I did 5 years ago, them type of camps? Like I'll do 12 5-minute shark tanks and stuff like that. Could I do that now? No, they'll run me through the ground. That'll be detrimental. But I need to find this perfect balance of me not only getting fit enough, I still want to push the boundary because I like, when you're pushing the boundary, mentally because I've always relied myself on being durable and resilient and stuff like that, so I still want to always feel like, oh, he shouldn't be able to go here, and like I'm going to push that, but I don't want to try and push it too far where it's going to be detrimental. So I'm flirting with it all the time, so that,
Yeah.
that for me it's finding that perfect balance where my intensity is right up there and the volumes drop down but not drop down too much where I'm getting, even though it's always going to be hard, even if I dropped it down another level below, it's still going to be incredibly hard, and most people couldn't handle that. But
Hmm.
for me, I still want to be pushing that boundary.
Yeah, that's got to be a fine line to try to walk. And since we're talking, and I appreciate your honesty and your thoughtfulness in terms of, some changes as you get older and things like that. And, in your last fight against Diego Lopes, you even mentioned at the post-fight press conference that you're like, it was kind of nice actually that I don't know if you said the word nice, but that he clipped you in the fourth round, you went down, but you overcame it. Because a lot of people would have expected like, hey, after the two knockout losses, maybe he can't take that shot anymore, And so I wonder how you felt about that after kind of thinking about it, because on one hand, it's great that you overcame that. You went on to pretty much dominate the fight, quite frankly. But earlier in your career, we weren't seeing you getting dropped. So like, how do you sort of weigh that balance in terms of like, hey, I can still take a shot, but like I'm also taking shots that maybe they didn't have this impact on me earlier in my career.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, like that's again, like I like to be as real as I can with it all. And yeah, these are, you're right. Isn't my, people are going to say, is this? I'm going to ask, is my chin how it was, you know, 8 years ago, 10 years ago? Yeah, probably not. You know what I mean? Like, if it is, all right, I'm going to treat it as if it's not and not let him land. You know what I mean? That's just how I am. I know it. But another thing, a lot of people are like, oh, he's down and all right. That's the only way I ever thought I was going to lose is getting caught. You know what I mean? I never ever thought any different. That was what I was always cautious of and, didn't want to give the opponents to the shots. You know what I mean? Because that's the only way I seen myself losing is someone catching me. So it's always been a part of my approach. Don't let him land those shots. But I mean, yeah, like as you said, he did land some big shots. I was going to have, you're going to have the doubts going into that fight. And as I said, I'm going to be real. I'm sitting there thinking, can my chin hold up? Yeah, I did get. I don't feel like I got rocked, like even though I dropped, but I was there the whole time.
Yeah.
But but yeah, it was good to see that. For me, it was a question for me to be like, all right, you get hit with big shots. We know he's got very heavy hands, and for you to not go out cold, all right, like you're going to get confidence out of that. So that's how
Mhm.
I look at it. But this time, I'm not even going to give him them moments.
Yeah, well, that leads into my next question because if I was sitting there and I was your coach, Joe, who's obviously a very, very brilliant coach, cares about you, cares the world about you. I hear you saying that he was there to be hit, and maybe I should have stuck around and hit him a couple more times. He'd go down, and you're talking about bulldozing guys. If I was your coach, I'd be saying, after watching that first fight, man, you can do that all day. You can stay on the outside, you can clip him, and then you can get out, exit. I don't want you sticking around looking for a finishing shot. But knowing the competitor that you are, I know that you want to make this performance even more spectacular than the last one. So I guess we're on this theme of trying to balance things. What is your coaches said about the game plan? Because to me, it would be in and out, 5 round decision. Let's move on. Let's get this win. I don't need you to get a knockout, as nice as it would be in Sydney. But you seem to have other plans.
Yeah, of course. Well, I mean, when I talk about that, like we all know that I'm not going to go there, stand in the pocket, and just swing toe for toe. That's not my style. I just mean when I find the shots, like if I see it, don't like second guess yourself. Like already thinking of getting your way out. You haven't even finished. I see the opening for the two, but I'm already thinking of the exit and stuff like that. Like obviously, I'm going to build that. I'm going to have a great team that are going to have me training. So, but this time I want to be. If I see the shot, I am really turning it in, and then we can go defense if that makes sense. So there's still going to be a lot of the obviously I'm going to have the footwork and all that sort of stuff. But I just mean rather than me almost being defense first,
Hmm.
even when I'm going offense, maybe I can really turn it in. See that shot really turn it in, and then we're like, all right, now we'll get out of there. You know what I mean? And more that sort of case where I didn't care too much about that. It was always like, oh, yeah, just bang, bang, make sure. Always had a real good safe net. And a lot of times, you got a safe net and they're nowhere near you. I was like, oh, I could have really sat on this one. So
Hmm.
just finding the right times to really sit on them and really, really sit on them and really, really turn them in. So just more that approach.
You had made those comments immediately after the fight, and so you hadn't watched it yet, of course. So when you watched it, did you feel the same way that like, I really could have sat more on it? And also, is there a little bit of an advantage on this time, knowing that when you go in, that you have felt this guy's power, like that won't be a question mark for you anymore. So, what was kind of your thoughts after actually seeing the fight? Did you think that there were those opportunities there? And then does it feel kind of more familiar and comfortable going in, knowing how hard exactly this guy hits?
Well, we know that the opportunities were there. Well, to be honest, I might have said that straight after the fight that there was opportunities there. But I mean, I took a lot of those opportunities anyway. Like, you know what I
Mm.
mean? Like he ran into a few shots. Maybe I could have threw a bit more. But like I said, probably could have just yeah, like maybe sat on him a little bit more and things like that, But yeah, what was the second part of that question?
The power, like going in, and I mean, you've fought a lot of guys with plenty of power, but now that you actually have gone in and you felt it yourself, is there a difference? But no, going in actually exactly knowing what this guy hits like.
I mean, the thing is, like, he's obviously got power. You've seen it. Like for me, when you go in there and you don't feel the shots. I felt it after the fight. I was in pain after the fight, you know what I mean? So I definitely felt that. But during the fight, the power don't feel any different. But then you watch the fight, and as I said, like, when it comes to his technique, some of those shots weren't the most beautiful technique and was still able to drop you and stuff because because he does have power. So it's something that you're going to have to respect, and I always will respect. So that I'm going to respect that when I'm telling you that I want to, really turn these shots in. I still respect his power, and I need to make sure I'm not there to be hit as well. But I reckon there's time there for me to do both.
There's been a lot of conversations about how this fight came together and whether Diego was the right opponent. And one thing that you've said about it is that you did think that Mofsar would add a little bit to your legacy because he's undefeated and he's got that invincibility to him a little bit. And I do kind of wonder, like in my mind, there's not really much higher you could take your legacy. Honestly, it's like there's only
Appreciate
so high that the line goes up. It's like you're already known as a guy who'll take a fight on short notice. You're already known as a guy that's prepared, that has the courage to go in there and move up a weight class, and as many title fights now as Jose Aldo. So for you, what are you still trying to add to your legacy, man? Because you're known as a fun fighter, you're known as a courageous fighter, you're known as a pound for pound great. So at that point, like, what is there to add to the legacy of Alexander Volkanovski?
I mean, I guess just said the defense is really, but I mean, the thing is, it's not add. Obviously, I'd love to add lightweight titles and all that sort of stuff. Like that'll be great, but it's not realistic right now. And not only that, it's for me as a champion, it's a responsibility. You know what I mean? You got a job to do, and that's to fight the best in your division. So even though I'd love to do these other fights that will probably mean more for the legacy, at the end of the day, there's a ranking system, and then you try and be as active as you can. I wasn't able to be as active as I wanted from the last fight. Or it was a few injuries, but so it was just yeah, I'm like that's just how that's going to always take over for me. It's I got a responsibility as a champion, so I guess that could be is like this guy was even when he didn't need to, he was still held like he was still the champion that I think most champions would want to be.
You
I could
still
be
allow,
picking and choosing, you know what I mean, at the end of my career, like a lot of people would, but that's not how I roll.
do you find yourself like, I mean, obviously you're self-motivated, but do you find yourself thinking like, well, hey, if I win this, maybe I still get a chance at a lightweight belt someday, and if I lose it, then I don't, then I can really cross that off, or have you put away that dream of a lightweight championship?
It's definitely not put away. I just know it's not in the near future. No, I know it's not my
Yeah.
next fight. If it was offered to me, bring it on.
Yeah.
Do I expect that to happen? No, I think as I always said, what I told you about responsibility of being a champion, and all that. I'm a big believer of things being earned, not given. Do I earn a shot straight away just now? No, I got a responsibility, and I want to face like you got a Lerone Murphy and a Movzar. If they fight, like I mean, that's going to be a clear guy to fight, and that's
Mhm.
very obvious to me. After that, are we in them conversations again? Maybe.
Yep. You've never just a couple more for you. You've never been a guy, obviously, who really talks about business issues with the UFC outside of it, and I don't expect you to do so now. But of course, as we come into this new deal and the influx of money with the new broadcast agreement, are you on a new contract? Did you renegotiate it? Are you on a new contract for this fight?
Uh, yeah, we're in chats. Yeah.
Would you say you're chatting?
Hey.
What was your answer? You're chatting about it?
Yeah, we're it's yeah, like we're going for it. Yeah, we will be getting more new contract. Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, congratulations, obviously, on that.
Thank you.
And yeah, there's different things that come into play, obviously. I mean, we just heard the Gaethje's thing, so I wanted to follow up with you and see if you were on a new deal. Sounds like you
Yeah.
are, or at least you're close to it. My last question is, ever since I've been covering the sport, I always see people at press conference, and it's kind of a gimmicky question. It's like, hey, if you could fight anyone alive or dead, who would you fight with? And I've never really been all that interested in this question, but somehow, for some reason, I find myself interested. If you could cook with anyone alive or dead, who would you cook a meal with?
I mean, it's they'll be alive or dead, or there'll be people that are alive. I guess I'll say. Ramsey would be good. Ramsey would be good. I'd love for him because again, I love taking the piss out of myself as well, as you see with my skits and all that. So I would
Mhm.
love it if just because I'm the thing is I enjoy cooking. I can do okay with it, but I ain't no chef. I ain't that good. You get professionals like Ramsey, he would absolutely shred my cooking. I would love that. I think that'd be great content because that's his gig. And yeah, man, come and absolutely abuse me. Um, that'll be fun. That'll be fun to do some content with him.
Oh, that would be great. And I feel like there's a world in which we can make that happen. He's a fight fan.
Yeah,
So
100%. We've already chatted. Like that's something that's yeah. We you'll be surprised with the people that we've connected with and that for the cooking. It's just I guess not many. They do collabs with all other cooks and all this, but I don't think they ever get to do it with a fighter. So,
mhm.
that's what's easy way into to a lot of these collabs and all that because it's definitely something different for them. So, I'm very very lucky to be in the position I'm at.
Absolutely, man. Well, I appreciate the time, and the farm looks great. The fights are going well. You got the belt around your waist again, and you're cooking. You're making fun content. So life is good, man. I'm happy for you, and best of luck. Looking
Life is
forward to
good.
seeing you do your thing
Thank
back in
you.
Sydney, Australia this weekend, man. Best of luck.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex.